Yeah, I like this lighting much better. Intro.
Who's the leader of the pack? Bringing legacy to you. L-E-G-A-C-Y-C-L-U-B. It's true. Stand up, gear up, join the fight. We're as fierce as we can be. With grit and light, we claim the night. We're the legacy. Legacy Club. Legacy Club. Strong and unbreakable. Warriors with fire inside. In our hearts, we're invincible. Legacy Club. We charge ahead, we don't look back, our spirits power away.
I can already tell this is going to be a throat clearing episode, and I am low. I even have like a sip of water left. Welcome back, everyone, to the Legacy Club podcast. My name is Justin, aka Portuguese Problem, aka Menace of Madeira, aka the Azorian Nightmare. Oh, I'm too mellow to be Dice Clay. You like Andrew Dice Clay? I love Andrew Dice Clay. Yeah, the lighting looks better, much better. I was using a ring light the last couple episodes, and it was too much. Overlighting, not the way to go. Not the way to go. I like something more ambient, something more moody. I wish you could see the candle behind me a little bit better, but we'll fix that next time around. I'm not going to worry about that today. Yeah, but this, shadowy, it adds character. It adds depth instead of just lit. Just lit up, blown out a little bit. I keep raising this. Yeah, and it just hides my candle. Whatever. Like I said, we'll fix it next time. Speaking of next time, I have come to realize just how difficult doing a daily podcast that endeavor is. So, see, told you, clearing my throat a lot. So, with that being said, I'm still going to have stuff release every day of the week, including weekends. But there'll be commentaries and stuff. Doing a podcast every day leaves no time to do like the other stuff I want to do, like the commentaries and the other videos for our vlog channel and working on Legacy Club clothing stuff. So just got to be more realistic. If I had a team, if I had people editing for me, if I had people like posting for me, then that'd be a little bit different. Then there'd be some time freed up for other things. But I'm a one-man show, baby. I'm a one-man band. Just me and my thoughts. That was a visual thing. If you were on the audio only, you didn't see the thing I did with my eyes and look at the camera. So I highly recommend checking out our YouTube, checking out our Rumble. I haven't posted any of them on Rumble yet because I haven't had time to do stuff. I've been editing. As soon as I'm done editing, I post it to Spotify and YouTube. And by that time, I got to start recording it. It's been a thing. So, and you know, when it comes to like episodes, these episodes like I'm doing right now, not very popular, but the lesser known Disney characters, those have been some episodes, you know, with a draw. So I'm going to focus on doing more of that stuff. I think we'll still do these whenever, but mostly I think I'm going to come to the table with, you know, something I want to talk about, and it's going to be more retrospectives. That means more editing time required, and that means, you know, just is what it is. But hey, still stuff is coming out every day, so it doesn't really change much for you guys. You know, it'll just be various other things. But I'm excited. It'll be more well-rounded that way, and I won't feel like burnout. But, you know, I don't think people like hearing me talk about what's to come or what changes are being made. But then I also feel like I have a responsibility to tell people like, nah, it's not gonna be a podcast every day. It's still gonna be stuff coming up every day, but just I'm not gonna be able to put out a quality product every day with what I want to do. And doing those last few lesser known Disney character episodes, I like the product, that I like what comes out ultimately, but it's taken too long to feasibly do that every day. So thank you for listening. No, but really do. I thank you for listening. Those people that do, I really appreciate it. It definitely keeps me wanting to do it. So that's great. I don't have a lot to talk about today, guys. I don't have a lot to talk about. I really just wanted to jump on and say that it's going to be daily content, just not daily podcasts, just so people know. It's going to be like whenever. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to post as many podcasts a week as I can, but that may not be 5, which you can live with. And those times that a podcast doesn't get up, well, there'll be a cartoon commentary up on our YouTube, or there'll be a movie commentary over on Rumble, or just check out our website and you'll see whatever content we release that day. It's real easy. Leallegacy.com. Leallegacy.com. My coach texted me earlier. He was like, hey, when you coming back? Because I haven't been back yet to the gym this year. 24 days late. I had like that cough earlier in the year. Remember? I talked about that on this show, and I even coughed a few times to my best, efforts not to. That, and then I tweaked my back, so that had me sitting out. And then, honestly too, I got this like ingrown toenail on the big toe of my left foot that I gotta like dig out. And I have been working at that, and it just hurts a lot. So I just know while doing some jujitsu, if it gets stepped on or bumped or anything, it's going to just be more pain than I want to deal with while trying to avoid being choked. So I've had a lot of minor, but valid things pop up that have deterred me from going, but I got to go. I'm going to go this week. I got to get back in the saddle again. It was after taking time off from doing something difficult in life, even something difficult you enjoy, it's hard to like really find the motivation to get back at it. You always find little tiny inconveniences to use as excuses, though I don't really feel like mine are all tiny. Like if I couldn't breathe when I had that like respiratory funk that we all had in the family, I'm not going to really be, my cardio is going to suck. And then somebody like trying to choke me, if they just flop their body on top of me, that's going to be enough to make me tap. Like I can't breathe. And then that mixed with a tweaked back, just, you can't have a tweak in your back and try to, grapple with people. And now, the toe thing. So it's just, it all seems like a bunch of, whiny excuses, but really I'm able to validate them. So I don't know. You tell me if I'm just weak. And I think when you open up that door to the internet of like, yeah, just tell me I'm weak, a lot of people would just tell you you're weak just for fun. Like, just to be mean. But that's okay. It's real hard to be mean to me. I really don't care. I don't know why a lot of people do. It's just very sensitive. I don't know, man. I don't know. Why do people cry over words so much? It just seems nonsensical to me. You're going to cry over sounds that somebody can make with their mouth. It's like, whatever. But it's offensive. Okay. I mean, how deeply are you offended by whatever somebody can say. Like, who cares? Are you injured because of what was said? Did the sound, did the vibrations of the sound strike you in such a way to cause you pain? I don't know. Am I not empathetic enough? If you're hurt by words, I guess it depends who they're coming from. But if it's like just a trolly person, if it's just a bully, if you're hurt by the words a bully throws at you, toughen up. But if it was like something like, a deeply loved one said something very damaging, like, yeah, I can get that. I get some words can hurt depending who they're coming from. But if it's coming from a stranger on the internet or a stranger on the street, like, genuinely, who cares? Just really, no damages. You're not taking any damage. They're probably an unfortunate soul anyway. Just unhappy in their life. They probably look at the mirror and go, ugh. Oh no. Could you imagine looking in the mirror and being like, nah, ugh. I look in the mirror and go, gray. Oh no, old. I think I wear it well. Lots in my beard, not so much gray in my head, but lots of face, lots of gray in my beard. Which could be distinguished, right? If you had to go gray, old people out there, this is for you early millennials and Gen Xers. Getting older, where do you want to see that first? Like, I guess for ladies, and I'm not speaking for anyone specifically, but, just stereotypically, my wife just texted me. I don't know. I don't want that to keep popping up. But anyway, where was I going? Stereotypically, wrinkles, stuff of that nature seem to affect ladies more than men. The men, I feel like it's really the gray thing. The gray thing really affects some dudes. But I don't know, man. Like, I feel like mine's setting in gradual. Is there ever an instance where somebody just wakes up one morning and it's like the Santa Claus, like Tim Allen, and like his hair is just all white and he has a beard all of a sudden? Does that happen to anybody? Specifically that. Oh man, it's wild though, dude. It's wild. I'm gonna be 40 next year. 40. I still feel like I'm 20. I don't feel like I still wear the same kind of clothes. I still listen to the same kind of music. I guess that's how it always is, isn't it? Like nobody necessarily really changed. Like older people that have come before me, like, or just like, just when I was younger and older people, like the music they would listen to, the way they dressed, it would just be like, yeah, that's what old people listen to. Those are the kind of shows that old people watch. Those are the kind of clothes that old people wear. Never once considering, oh, you listened to that and you wore clothes like that when you were younger too. That was just like, that was the style. And that style had just carried over with you into old age. And now it just like looks like old people style. Never considered that until my style started becoming old person style. Heavily tattooed is going to be an old person thing at some point. Are younger people still wanting tattoos? I mean, there are those like younger kind of rapper guys who have like Post Malone, and like even younger, even more like, even like not, I was just going to say even more less known, but I wouldn't consider Post Malone a lesser known character. But you know what I'm saying? Like, there was this like time where getting a whole bunch of terrible tattoos all over your face was the way to go. I have a tattoo on my face, and it's not my favorite thing in the world, but also it's not just everywhere on my face, and it's not a bunch of bad tattoos everywhere on my face. Would I get more face tattoos? Probably, but my wife says no, and that's what happens when you're married. People can tell you no. Harumph. I really wonder if I just did it anyway. Is that the worst thing in the world? Oh man. There's plenty of worse things I could do than just getting a random face tattoo. You know what I mean? Nobody's getting hurt but me in that. She's got to look at me, but she married me already. She can't run now. But yeah, man, like Dickies and baseball tees, Vans, like all those are going to be like old people stuff. Like we're going to be 75, 80 years old, still rocking Vans, still with the Dickies, still with like the hoodies. I dress pretty much the same that I always have, but that's also not true because I went through phases. And phases, like, man, the dedication, like some styles require is so crazy to me now. I guess when you're young and you have like a lot of time to waste, it doesn't really matter. But, or maybe it's like a vanity thing. I don't know. But like all my earlier phases required so much effort, man. Like, let's see. When I really started like going with my own style, because up until like, let's just say, in childhood, there's a point where you, up to a certain point, you're okay with your parents or guardians or whatever, just like supplying clothes. Like they may ask you for input, like you get dragged to the store or something and they're like, do you like this? Do you not like this? What do you like? Do you want to pick something out? Sure. You'll have your tastes and, just kind of like things that appeal to you. But then there comes a time where like you're shooting for a specific style. And that's what I'm talking about. When I started shooting for like a specific style, it was definitely like early Blink 182 mixed with skater growing up on the beach style. Lots of Hurley, lots of Quicksilver, Billabong. When I really started getting into Blink, then the Dickies came in. Dickies not always great for skating though, especially like when you wore them like Blink did, where they were like baggier, they were longer. You know what I mean? Hard to skate like that. Let me tell you. But it looked cool. Anyhow, and then I joined my first band in high school, freshman year, and that's when things really went off the rails. That's when I started like going with the obnoxiously spiked hair and the studs, lots of studs on belts, studs on bracelets, studs on studs. And it's just band tees and patches and like sewing patches onto Dickies or vests or what have you. And that was just such a crazy amount of effort. And like when you're punk rock, the idea of punk rock is just not to care. And then there are those punks that kind of don't care. The crusty punks, like gutter punks, where they're just stinky and dirty and they just really genuinely don't have any, like, they're punk to the point where they used egg whites and super glue or something to or Elmer's glue. Super glue would be very questionable. They used Elmer's glue and egg whites and stuff to like get their mohawk up once, and then they just don't ever shower ever. So like the back of it's kind of flopping down from when they sleep and put their head back, but the front's still kind of up, and it's just like real ratty looking. Pretty cool though, punk rock. And then a step up from that is the people who care enough to try to look punk. And that's where I was. I would meticulously make sure that my spikes in my hair were like, each spike was individually spiked to perfection. You know what I mean? I didn't just like just run my fingers through my hair and walk out. No, I legitimately put time into it. And the hand sewing patches onto, hoodies, jackets, shorts, pants, shirts. Like there was a lot of effort put into looking like, I don't know, a street kid. You know what I mean? A lot of effort to look like there was not a lot of effort. I think with punk rock though, no, because the little patches and stuff, I was going to say the hair is really the most time consuming, effort consuming when you have a mohawk or, spikes of any, like the big Liberty spikes down to like the shorter individually, spiked up thing. And it took me, because I went to Catholic school, I didn't plug in the camera. Let me fix that. Hopefully plugging it in doesn't shut everything down, because that's been a thing before. Remember that? That was a bummer. Let's see. Oh no. There we okay, cool. Sweet. Anyhow, where was I? Oh yeah. I went to Catholic school, so we had uniforms, but I still wanted to let my punk rock shine through my uniform. So I had to find the way to spike my hair just right to where it was clearly I was more punk than anybody around me, but at the same time, not punk enough to get kicked, like detention or, sent home or something. It was very, there's a deep balance to it all. Hiding a lip ring in high school, that was tricky. Kind of. As long as you just always had a pen in your mouth that sat over your lip ring, you could get away with it. There was a guy older than me, maybe like 2 years older than me. He had his ears gauged. So Catholic school, no piercings, no tattoos. Your hair had to be like a certain length. It couldn't be like below your collar. If you were a guy, you couldn't have long hair. But on the flip side, you couldn't have like wild hair. You had to have just a reasonable hairstyle. But I pushed as far as I can, or as far as I could on everything. So much so, we had a very specific uniform that we had to wear in high school, and it had to be purchased from a very specific maker, supplier, store, I don't know, but and they had to be khaki. So I went as far as taking off the like little label that they had on the pants, on the shorts, because where they had their little label conveniently just happened to be in the same spot that they had the label on Dickies. So I was able to just like rip off the Dickies label and rip off I think it was called Sue Mills, rip off the Sue Mills tag and put the Sue Mills tag on my Dickies, sew it in there. So it was just like, no, dude, these are Sue Mills. Sure, they don't look like everybody else's, but why does it have the tag on it? They couldn't prove that I was out of dress code, but you know what, I was. But again, a lot of work. But anyway, this dude had his ears gauged, like big ones. And this is back when, the early 2000s, the heyday and like the rise of like hardcore, you know what I mean? Like the metalcore, hardcore, emo was like really the thing. All of that was like replacing punk rock. You know what I mean? So it was unheard of, at least like among my peer group, for anyone to have, like, that was a very unique thing. It wasn't like everybody had it. For, there was a time where everybody had their ears gauged, it seems like, but this was like back when nobody had it. And he had the balls to do that at a Catholic school, because it's like, how do you hide that? Well, you know what? He hid it by always having his hoodie up. He always wore our school hoodie, and he always had his hood up. So as long as he never had to take his hood down, and there's times where I'm thinking now, there are times for sure where he had to take his hood down, or he couldn't wear a hood. And how he was able to get that to fly, like, I don't know, man. It was impressive. I respected it. As somebody who was hiding a piercing, I looked up to him. I was like, what I got, I can cover with a pen. And as long as no teachers like speak to me real close, too close, I can hide it. I eventually got like the stud. Like when I first got it done, I had the ring, and I had to leave that in for however long. It would have been smarter to do it over the summer, so by the time school started again, it would have been healed enough to switch out the jewelry. But nah, I did it while I was right smack dab in the middle of the school year. That's how I rolled. But yeah, eventually I was able to like get a stud, but not like screw a ball on it or anything. Just just something enough to keep it open. But anyway. So yeah, being punk rock took a lot of effort. And then from there I graduated. So when you're younger, punk rock, that's the way it is. Some people stay that way their whole life, looking like the street crusty punk, what have you. But then, the other branches you can go is you can go like skinhead, or you can go rockabilly. I went the rockabilly route, which skinhead would have really been way more just like effortless. You know what I mean? And when I say skinhead, because a lot of people who aren't familiar with the whole like world of punk and everything like that, these aren't like Nazi skinheads. Sure, there are some of those out there, but these are the sharps, the skinheads against racism. Or racist people, skinheads against racist people, sharp. Yeah, that's it. So they still had the same look, but they didn't, they weren't white supremacists. They were just like, they were actually actively anti-racism. The kind of skinheads that hung out with the rude boys and like the reggae cats and like, those kind of skinheads, the kind of skinheads that listen to like, why am I Desmond Decker? I was like, where, I can't just say Bob Marley, but yeah, Desmond Decker. Yeah. Skinheads who listen to him, those are the kind of skinheads I'm talking about. But no, I went rockabilly. So, going the rockabilly route. Sure, the clothes got a little more easier to manage. They were just jeans and like cuff the jeans, Converse, plain colored shirt, maybe roll the sleeves, maybe don't roll the sleeves, flannels, much easier when it comes to like attire. But the hair, man. The importance of the hair when it comes to like the rockabilly, greaser, psychobilly scene, it was just too much. It's too much, man. It's just you should never spend that much time intricately styling your hair that many days a week. Or you could be one of those dudes that didn't wash out the pomade or the grease or whatever, and like either really got your pillow super nasty, or you put like one of those head wrap kind of things on. I never did that. I just took a shower and washed it out and had to spend 1,000,000 hours the next day doing it all over again. And it was just too much. It's just too much effort. Far too much effort to look a certain way and to like fit in with a certain crowd. The introduction and uprising of like that neo hardcore, that 2000s era hardcore where it was just kind of like shorts and a t-shirt and ankle socks and like, you know, whatever Sauconys or whatever other skate shoe it was super mellow, super laid back. And that's kind of something I should have embraced, but I didn't. I went rockabilly. I wanted to be too much like Elvis, too stylish. And then from there, I got into more like horror punky stuff, and I had a devil lock, and that was kind of easy. There was no styling that. And then finally, like, oh, look, I just got long hair. I just stopped getting haircuts. So the whole, if young rockabilly me could see me now, almost 40-year-old me, be like, man, you gave up, didn't you? Yeah, man, I did. I don't want to spend that much time on my hair, you fool. Go do something progressive. Go start jujitsu now. Don't make me be a white belt in my late 30s. Go be a white belt now in your, late teens, early 20s. Get it out of the way. Get good now. Because getting good when you're older is far more difficult. Yeah. Young whippersnapper. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Still rocking the Dickies, still rocking the baseball tees and the flannels and stuff when I'm 70 years old. It's gonna be a cool look. Trucker hats, Vans, pulling my socks up. The higher the socks, the downer the fool. You know how we roll. Just everything you could actually find in our web store, legacyclubclo.com. That's how I dress. I supply just things that appeal to me in our web store, and it works out. It all works out. What was your thing? Bro? And then like the emo thing. I never was. I listened to some of the bands and stuff, but I was never like, I didn't do the emo look with like the hair draped over and just kind of like choppy and all that eyeliner. No, I didn't succumb to all that, which, it's nothing, no shame on anybody who did, but that even makes like, rockabilly efforts seem pretty lax. Like when you have to as a guy, let's just start with the dudes. Actually, guys and girls, it really, in the emo like scenester thing, guys and girls had to do the same thing. They both like flat ironed their hair. They both put on their eyeliner and eyeshadow. They both squeezed into jeans that were way too tight. like that was the most ambiguous, genre you could stumble into, scene you can stumble into, male or female. It was all the same. But that seems like a pain. Having to flat iron your hair so it folds over your face just perfectly enough and then like tease up the back. Still a lot of hair product, just like rockabilly, but not as intricate. There was still a little like of a more rocker mess that was accepted there, like greaser, rockabilly, psychobilly even. You had to really get those lines in your pompadour nice and straight, nice. It had to be nice and tall, come down real smooth. Yeah, man. Too much time wasted on all that. Good times though. I felt really cool at the time, that's for sure. I was doing it correct enough to where I felt cool and confident around like, people who I felt were more cool and more confident than me. So it did the trick. It did what it was supposed to do. How do we even get here? Oh yeah, because I'm getting old, and old people style. You think there's going to be like, have we hit a time where what's like the oldest goth? 60s, 70s? But at that point, they just go from like goth to like witchy. Like women will go from being, spooky teenagers to like hippie witchy adults. I guess it kind of goes with like punk rock too, because you could have gone the route of like being you could, like the transition from mohawk to dreads, studs to tie dye. That's not a huge leap. Yeah, I think a lot of young punk rockers grow into old hippies. So I'll add that to the mix. Young punk rockers grow into old like skinheads or greasers, which include bikers. I'm including bikers in there, or hippies, or whatever I am. What did I turn into? I don't know. I don't really fit any of those anymore. I wear a lot of hoodies, or skater, I guess. Just I dress like the older dudes who, were around my hometown when I was growing up, and it dressed like how they dress. It just kind of seeps into you. So it's that like SoCal skate beachy vibe, but not like. Do they still make those skate shoes that are big and bulky? I've fallen out of skateboarding enough to where Vans are good enough for me. But do you remember the time where like Osiris and DC and Etnies, they had like, it was like the bigger and bulkier the shoe, the more skater you looked. But also I feel like the bigger and bulkier the shoe, the harder skateboarding was. So it kind of really worked against itself. And come to think of it, I kind of feel like a lot of those shoe companies really kind of evolved back into the canvas, like the thinner canvas, like Vans, Converse kind of vibe. But do you remember that? Do you remember that time? The big, chunky, bulky skate shoes? It was like marshmallows on your feet almost. And you couldn't tie them. You had to leave them loose. Which made even less sense when it came to skating, because you want your shoe to stay on. There was nothing like trying to do a kickflip and watching your shoe fly off and like hit a car. Yeah, that happened a time or two. Or your shoes falling off when you fall. You're trying to ollie like down a set of stairs and you don't quite make it. And your shoes come off when you fell. Oh man. Being young is so funny. We got a 14-year-old, so I get to watch him step into like, all the things he thinks are cool, which is way more mellow than when I was 14. When I was 14, yeah, I was enraptured by my punk rock ways and really trying to live it, really trying to look it. Kids like younger generations today are they're like into lazy kind of fashion. Lots of sweats, lots of pajama pants, wife beaters, hoodies, very, very loungy, which is, I guess, like the exact opposite end of the spectrum of the effort I put in. There's even more effort from younger people today to look like they are coming off completely effortless. But I know there's a lot of effort there. The way I watch him, like the love he gives to his shoes is amazing to me. My shoes are all ripped apart from skating, and his, like, he puts crease protectors in them. He likes to keep them pristine. That's funny. Hilarious. But yeah, who's the oldest? Do all goths just grow into old witchy kind of people? Even the guys. Don't see a lot of like people in their 60s with like mohawks and stuff. Even Lars Fredrickson, like, like Rancid, they've all pretty much mellowed out. They don't look as super punk as they used to. Like if you look at a picture of Rancid now, they are very different from Rancid in 1995, like Out Come the Wolves era. Even later than that, even like 2000s and Indestructible and stuff. Oh. Yeah. Danzig went from like, the devil lock into just long hair. But he was never really the most flashy misfit. The most flashy misfit was always Jerry Only. He always had the most amount of studs, the most amount of spikes, makeup, like the eye, just the eyes. Just the eyes. It was Doyle. Doyle did the full and does the full face makeup. Like really, like real, really done up. But then he goes shirtless. So that takes away all the studs and spikes and stuff. So I don't know. I don't even know what this episode was about. I just talked. I really just kind of did this to be like, hey, I'm not going to do a podcast every day, but there will still be stuff going up. Content will be released every day. But it was just like, I don't know, man. Just definite word vomit and stream of consciousness. Yeah, so that's another part of like why I really got to stick to just doing these retrospectives mostly. Because at least that's stuff people want to hear. Who knows if anybody wanted to hear what I just went through? Probably not. But I did it anyway. I'm going to post it. It's going to go up. And it is what it is. So thanks for listening. Thanks for taking the time to put yourself through this. I really do appreciate it. I'll really appreciate it if you go to leallegacy.com and scope out all the other cool content we have for you. Definitely join our mailing list. A little thing pops up that says, hey, you want to join the mailing list? So you are notified directly for every new thing that is posted to the website. I'm going to add to that and talk, or I'm going to, yeah, you'll get updates for the web store too. The web store is a different domain, so it's a separate site. So when I update things on the web store, it doesn't automatically notify subscribers on leallegacy.com. So I'll just have to manually do that. But anytime a podcast goes up, anytime a video goes up, anytime anything happens at leallegacy.com, subscribe so you're notified to check out whatever cool new killer content we have posted up. Definitely visit our web store though. You can click on the shop tab at leallegacy.com or visit Legacy Club Clo. The Clo stands for clothing.com and scope out everything we got there. Lots of original Leal Legacy iconography. We got our Disnerd collection, just loads of stuff. New stuff always going up whenever I am feeling inspired. I'm feeling inspired for the next collection, next pattern update. Right now we're rocking buffalo plaid, but I think the next one's going to be pretty cool too. So keep a lookout for that. And I'll definitely be talking about it on these podcasts too, when the time comes. If you aren't in the market for any sort of fun piece of apparel, you can always, and even if you are in the market for, shop in our store, please still do this as well. Go to your favorite podcast platform of choice, subscribe to the show, leave a rating, leave a review. YouTube, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, subscribe, leave a comment. Do all these interacting things to help us rise through the algorithmic ranks. Because that's what this is all about. It's all fighting the algorithm. It's all trying to stake your claim and get a piece of the algorithm. So if you could do all those things, I'd be very, very, humbled and very much appreciate it. But yeah, so going forward, there's going to be more cartoon commentaries going up on the video streaming platforms and at leallegacy.com. Definitely going to be doing more I'll do more commentaries on the Disney animated features and then other cool, lesser known B movies. Just more variety. More variety than a podcast every day, because I realized that the podcast every day thing was taking a lot of focus of just focusing on the podcast, and that's not the only focus I got here. So I gotta mix it up, gotta change it up. So check out our other YouTube channels, because that's part of the focus. We got Legacy of Leal, Leal Legacy View, Leal Legacy Music, and Leal Legacy Gaming. Those are our other YouTube channels. So Bane handles Leal Legacy Gaming. He streams his gameplay and makes videos and all that. So check that out. It's really the kids got a gift. But yeah, anyhow, hey, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, thanks for being a friend and telling a friend. See ya.